Gemini, Gemini, Gemini. I hope everything is okay with you, Gemini. Here I am with the reading for you for the month of September. What am I seeing for you, Gemini? And before I started, I was seeing two, but two indicated with two hands. So it is a doubling of two, two squared. And I'm seeing, well, of course, the Gemini, gemelli, they say in Italian, they're twins, all right, so what? But here I think there's more here. It's a dual layered message in the sense of there is an effect that is doubled in terms of what you are creating, what you are doing, what is occurring in your life. And I'll give you an example as I mix the tarot. You have sent in a project to the municipality to free up some roads, and it was just in the suggestion box or something like that. Well, the effect of that, and this is an example, the effect of that is going to be squared. It's going to be magnified because it will have the effect of this person telling that person, and the council members telling other people, and that's not a bad idea, and you will be informed of that. So this is an example, and this goes this happens in terms of your relationships as well, your interpersonal relationships. You get that? Your interpersonal relationships. When I was a kid, we used to do like this. Up in the air, junior birdsman. I remember that, just reminded me of that. All right, Gemini, let's see. Well, what are we seeing here? We've got the Two of Wands. And of course, there's when you have a Two of Wands, it's someone face to face. It could be you against yourself, and I'm seeing that as you being against yourself. You're calling each other out. You're sort of standing to the you said that? Did you say that? Well, I didn't mean that. Why don't you take a good look at what you're saying? You're calling yourself out. You're really not letting anything go by. And it's interesting, this, Gemini, to see. Why? And I'll tell you why with the runes. I'll tell you why. Two. Did I say two? Did I do that? Well, what do we have here? I'll show you. We've got manats. See that? Manats, it looks like two people facing each other with the Two of Wands. I mean, it's incredible how the messages come. Right now, Manats is a really, really important rune here. It's one of the nicest runes. Why? Because it talks about humankind, and it talks about people. It talks about a couple, really. It talks about two people interacting, and there's interdependence. That interdependence also tells you, you will be receiving aid, not necessarily from that person, but from others that I've heard about. And it's time for new plans, all right? So we're kicking off the month of September, Gemini, with a real bang here. We have this magnified effect of two people, and you calling yourself out, and you with interacting with both yourself and the powers that be where you work, and the powers that be where you live. I mentioned the municipality. I'm going to take a couple of these sibillas, and before I do that, there is, it's not only a matter of you coming face to face with the people that you know or you love or you have to communicate with. There are others that come, eye to eye, nose to nose, face to face, that want to challenge you this month. And I'm seeing it the second week of the month of September. They want to challenge you, and the challenge has to do with your ideas, with your communication, with what you have said previously. It has nothing to do with emotional relations, this. It has more to do with your working, your on the job performance, or your ideas, your projects that were brought forth. Let me get some, I hear dogs barking outside. Ow, 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 ow. Let me see. It's a gloomy day. It rained all day yesterday and the night, and it's so much cooler. So much cooler. We've got the doctor. We've got the doctor. We've got the conversation. And we also have written communication. Now, I'm going to take a rune on that doctor because that doctor does mean caregiver as well, but it also means something looming. So why don't we see what this is? And what does it say? It says nothing. It says nothing. This is the nameless, faceless rune called Weird. And Weird is definitely a weird rune. It was added later on in the rune traditions, and it's a faded or undisclosed element that you are not meant to be, but that you will be receiving. It does talk about something coming in towards the end of the month as an afterthought where you don't expect it. When you least expect it, something comes. I don't want to qualify this. Excuse me, let me have something to wet my whistle. I don't want to qualify this as a surprise because generally we, and me included, we think of surprises as always something positive. So let me put that off to the side and let's go on because we're sure to be able to get something more from the bottom of the deck here. Yes, what do we got? What do we got? We have the end of a very difficult cycle. We've got the 10 of Wands. Now, the 10 of Wands is it is a heavy load, but it tells you that September, Gemini, brings you the end of something that was overweighing, overloading you. It's the end of that. Every time I speak close to this thumb drum, it echoes into my ears. Now, there's another thing that I have here. This overbearing, the end to an overbearing burden that is going to occur mid-month has to do with your work activity, even if it's not directly work related. It could be a hobby. For example, a lot of people dabble in cryptocurrency. A lot of people dabble in psychic readings. A lot of people dabble in intuitive activities. It has to do with that. It has to do with, there are a number of messages that are coming in, so please bear with me. One is that you were the object of a psychic attack, unbeknownst to you. And it doesn't have to be direct. It doesn't have to be a direct attack from a person that you know or who is jealous of you or anything. It doesn't have to be that. But it could be, just like in COVID cases, a carrier. It could be someone who, through them, brings you negative energy. And it's very, very popular in this COVID situation, in this pandemic. I've seen it. I've been so busy with this type of work. It's extremely, extremely, dangerous because it brings pain. It actually brings pain, right? And I'll tell you the kind of pain. Gemini, you're lying in bed and you wake up and all of a sudden you feel a little bit something, sensitive at the tip of your middle finger on your left hand, and you think, okay, I have to die of something. I'm getting old, so I've got a little bit, what is it, arthritis? No, it's never something like that. That's a signal there's a change underway, a negative change. When you start to feel pain, this has to do a lot. I would say just about all illnesses have to do with negative energy. This is my firm belief. This is what my professional experience has brought me to. So I said there were different readings here. One was the psychic attack. You were object of a psychic attack. Another is that you yourself fear the outcome of something. You have feared the outcome of something. And mid-month, this finally comes to an end. Now, I'm going to go forward. We don't want to go backward. We're going forward with the runes. And we've got just what we needed, talking about psychic attacks, negative energy. What do we have here? We've got Awats, and Awats is a very powerfully protective rune. Awats is an ally. Okay, Awats is you can see Awats. It is from the hue tree, but it's protecting you. So this is why mid-month you are uplifted. Those little things that you see on your hands and feeling on your toes, and things are crumpling up and you're starting to think, oh my God, I'm getting old. No, right? So that is lifted. I'm going now back to basics, as they say. Back to basics. Let me go back to basics. Let me go back to basics. One card has fallen out. We did see this 10 of Wands, right? Being lifted mid-month, and what flew out of the deck is the 10 of Coins. This is a beautiful, beautiful omen for us. An omen I know has a connotative, negative connotation omen, but omen really means something that you see from far away. You see the promise of something, and this is a abundance coming in. I'm looking at the beginning of the third week is when, Gemini, you will start to see the trickling down of, it may seem pennies to you because it's been a long time waiting. If you've been waiting on some type of furlough payment, unemployment payment, it's starting to trickle in. It's something that you were due, that you were supposed to receive, and finally is coming in. I'm looking at the third week of September. Let me take some more Sibilla cards, because I'm hearing a grandmother's voice, that's saying, I'm watching you. Almost I can see, pointing the fingers. I'm watching you, so be good, Take care of yourself and watch out, because I'm watching you. And it's a benevolent type of talk. It's not a harsh, it's a sweet voice. And so wherever that came from, it's out there for some of you Gemini there. Now, this is a general reading. Let's take a honking horn. Look what we have. Before we had the doctor, remember that, and we interpreted it differently. Well, now we have the sick person. We have the Gran Signore, which is a protector, and we've got love here. Look, what I'm looking at is, what do I want to say about that? Do I want to tell the Gemini that that you are suffering because of a love? And you don't suffer because of a love, you suffer because of a desire that is not met. And what it is that you cannot see this person, and you cannot actually touch them. You can see them, you do see them, but you cannot touch them. And there is a little bit of that's sort of weighing you down, of causing you a little bit of sadness there. A little bit of sadness. Oh, mamma mia. Mamma mia, mamma mia. The world is telling you, don't fear. Have no fear, the world is here. Gemini, because the Wizard of Oz tells you that we're going to see them, and we are going to see them fairly soon. Is it going to be in September? It's not going to be in September. It's going to be during the first week, around the first week of October. There's also here, I'm seeing a sort of a crane, a crane that picks up things in the construction site. It's a crane. it's as if there's a crane, Gemini, that's coming into your garden, into your place of living, into your bedroom where you live, and sort of hanging there and wanting, to act like a magnet, so it could pick up things you don't need and throw them away, but it's not doing anything because it needs your collaboration. It wants you to help in eliminating what you don't need. All right. Now, of course, right around, I think it's the 2nd of September, we've got this full, beautiful, gorgeous full moon. And that would be the time to let go and get rid of, I'm seeing it as things, but there are things that remind you of old memories that are not needed and do not bring you any positive energy going forward in the month. Okay, whew, that was a big one. That was huge. That was huge. Let's see. Let's dip into these tarot here. The High Priestess. What did we talk about? We talked about the full moon, and the High Priestess is the person, is the card that talks of moons and talks of hiding things, and not so much hiding things. You have been, yes, hiding things mainly from yourself, I'm seeing them, and not wanting to, you think, okay, this package of Kleenex here, oh, they gave it to me the last day we were together. I just want to keep it because it reminds them. No, gone, out the door, out. Give it to the crane. And that you have to remember that the key here of this month is give it to the crane. Give it to the crane. Let it go and give it to the crane. Yep, let it go and give it to the train, I was going to say. Let's go to another insight, I was going to say. And we've got Tyr. Look at that. Tyr. Oofa. 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 Tyr is in a Merkstave position. And Tyr is usually competition. You're victorious in competition and you get increased money or power, and it's all good things that you could expect. But when it's in a Merkstave position, it's conditional. It comes when you do something. There has to be something done before you win, before you receive the payment, before you. There's something that has to be done. Let's take a look to see what has to be done. Let's see what has to be done. Gemini, what has to be done? Oh, wow. She makes faces. My mother said that when I was born, I made faces the whole time. Okay. Happiness in the heart. We've got a fortune card that favors the bold, and we've got a lover here. The fortune favors the bold. All right. Now, what do you have to do in order to win out of competition? Get that competition. I'm looking for the cards that talked about it. Yeah. Well, it was bing. The cards, flying cards on my drum. What has to happen is, there you are. Conversation and communication. Written and oral. You have to communicate with a particular person in order for you to be in the standing. And this should not be, it's not propitious for you to do it initially right at the beginning of the month. It will be something that comes up at the 3rd week. Mid-3rd week is when you really have to let yourself open and throw caution to the winds. Do not care about their reactions. Just bring yourself out there and tell them what you feel, how you feel, and even say, I know you feel the same way. If you feel like that, if you know that. All right, I'm going to, we've got, that's just what I wanted. 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 Now, this is Gifu. Now, Gifu in It means gift. All right, it means gift, and Gifu is a card that is a rune that means interaction, exchange, and you recall this, right? The interdependence of manats, face to face, being face to face with someone. Well, manats, when especially with Gifu, does talk of a very, very important exchange, and the exchange offers you very, very much. It offers you a very important development in a romantic relationship. When? The third week. Point to that third week. Go forward with that third week. Let's go back. I see that you're not very keen on that idea, Gemini. Many of you are saying to yourself, I've said enough. I keep saying it. And why? I just want them to. And there is, that good old last try. And it's, we're all different. Okay, granted, we are. But why not make an attempt? If you don't, you'll feel worse, Let's say that we've got the devil, and the devil is going to make you do it. Why? The devil's going to make you do it because joy is in store for you with the Three of Cups. So now we've got this, of course, the devil does tell me that it's a repetitive action and you don't want to. Many of you, Gemini, are not keen on making that step, taking that step again, because you think you've done that enough and you don't want to do that. But then the prize is there. The prize is there. Remember, tear brings you. It turns over tear only if you make an effort. There's a lot of conditions here, Gemini. I hope you can forgive me for giving you all these conditions, but that's what they're saying, Even your grandmother's watching you. Grandmother's watching you. Okay, now, I've got here the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords at this moment in time in the reading is very important. Why? Because the Knight of Swords is the fastest knight in the tarot deck. It's the knight that doesn't take any crap. It's the knight that is no longer in a position of waiting. They want to cut through all the crap and get to the truth. And they may feel, once they do that, that it was not worth it because they didn't hear what they wanted to. But once they do, it's over, it's done. They rip the Band-Aid off and go on their merry way. But we saw there are no Band-Aids to rip off because we have the celebration card there. If you make the step, if you take the steps, if you walk the walk and not only talk the talk. What's emerging here is, first of all, you have to give it to the crane. Let go and give it to the crane. Remember the crane, all right? And go back and watch and listen to that. And then there is this talking the talk, but also walking the walk. I do hope this was of help to you, ladies and gentlemen, Gemini friends. Do like, share, and subscribe to my channel right here. Ring that bell and you'll get notified. Ding dong. And I'll leave you with this. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen, Gemini friends. Until we read together again. Bye-bye.